Hello. Wait, hold on. Hello. No, it's still not right. Hold on. My audio's messed up. That might have solved it. Okay, let's see. That no, it was fixed and then I broke it again. Okay, I think it's working now. Hello. My video's off. Okay, hold on. Fantastic. Okay. Better. Better. Okay. I think I don't know what the heck happened there. All right. I think my USB hub is like really touchy. Anyway, hello, Solar Luna here. How's it going? Welcome. I'm an independent game developer. I am a programmer. I am the creator of Masterplan, and today we're going to be doing some Golang Game Development. I thought it'd be fun to do it, so that's what we're going to be doing. Before we start, going to just show you what I've been working on with Masterplan, uh, which is also the ability to tab. You can now tab. Well, it's not finished yet, but that's the goal, is basically be able to tab between controls and then be able to trigger them purely on like keyboard, purely by keyboard. So that's a nice little feature. Really important. It's not perfect yet. There's still some things I need to fix, like scrolling, and then also well, yeah, scrolling, and then also like focusing on it, so that if you tab down, for example, beyond the bottom, it'll like scroll to it, as you tap. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what I'm working on. Just got a crash. So anyway, that's the fun of making stuff. So anyway, today what we'll be doing is making a game, and I was thinking about returning to my previous project that I was working on, my 7D RL project. But I wanted to kind of carry a project entirely through from beginning to end on stream. And I haven't done that yet. I've started, streams and stuff like that, but I've never really finished a game on stream. And so that's what I'd like to do with this stream, starting here. I'd like to start a game, get a large portion of it done on this stream, and then just kind of keep working on it, and by the end of maybe 4 streams, maybe a couple of weeks, it's done. It's done. You can play it. I have an idea already, which is basically a game like Load Runner, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. Also, hello everyone. Sorry for the audio issues at the beginning, and hello to everyone who's welcoming in chat, who's saying hello. It's been quite a while since I've last streamed some Golang Game Dev. Let's see. Yeah, audio video is a little, well, it's not. Don Duval says my major complaint of Linux desktop is audio video isn't as solid. It's not that bad. It depends on like the application. Like renoise isn't as smooth as I think it should be. I mean, it works fine, but it's just, it kind of takes over your audio card. So that's, you gotta kind of work around that. But the audio and video is generally okay. It could use some improvement though. But yes, hello everyone. Hello and thank you for your patience. William says, can you make a setup video for your software? If you mean like how I make my games or how I make my streams, well, let me ask. Are you talking about how I make my games, or do you mean how I make my streams? Because how I'm making my game, we're gonna see in a couple seconds. So anyway, the idea that I'm gonna be working with, let me actually pull up Masterplan here. Pull up itch first. Okay, so the plan, what I'm going to be working with here is... Oh, do we have a crash? Well, this is unusual. But I do appreciate it. All right, very nice. Now we have something else to fix. It seems like there's a... It's weird. Okay, let me try this again. I think I've had this issue. Match balance update. Okay, maybe it was updating in the middle of while I was running, or okay. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind. Oh, how I make my games. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get into how we make this game. We're gonna start with it. So what I'll do is kind of walk through some stuff. So first things first, what I'd like to do is pull up. Let's see. Can we get a Load Runner 4, I believe, for the arcade? That's the one I've played before. Not this one. This is the reboot. But I'd like to make a game kind of like this. This is the original Load Runner. I'm trying to see if I can get like the fourth one. I've seen that before. As kind of, I just want to get a reference basically. Also, is no? Okay, I thought the screen was kind of like uh cutting out. Like it was like there was something wrong with it, but apparently not. All right. I don't want to actually play it online. I just want to see what it looks like. Can I get a screenshot? Yeah, okay, this is the game. This is the game I'm referring to. Okay. All right. So the general idea is that basically you play this little character. He's like transparent or something in this screenshot, but you play this character, you go down ladders, you can't jump. You can hang from like sticks. You can hang from like I don't know what you call them, like sticks essentially. You can dig, and your goal is to get all of the gold. If you dig a hole, enemies walk into it, and then they can escape. But if you time it correctly, they can get filled in, and then they have to respawn. So the general loop is to basically just get all the gold, and then you move on to the next level. And that's a very good loop. It's very simple. It's very easy to understand. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it works well. And so that's what we're going to be trying to make today. We're going to be trying to make something like this basic Load Runner like game. So the general idea for today, what I'd like to do is set up the player movement, right? We want an enemy movement. We'll need player movement and animations. So we'll just say player. So we have to get like movement. We have to get animations. We got to get systems. Now, well, we'll just say systems here. So the general idea that I'm working with here, let me save this plan in our new project location. We will call this Load Runner Light. The general idea, and this is just going to be to do that. The general idea that I'm going to be working with is I don't want it to be just a Load Runner like replica, but rather a game that's kind of similar to Load Runner. It's an arcade game. And so the idea is the player moves about and can place down doors. If he passes the door, he can, well, let me bring up a whiteboard here. And just for anyone who's wondering, this is a program that I made called Master Plan. That's what I'm going to be using to kind of plan things out, and also for visualization while we're working on it. So basically the player, you know, he's going to be some kind of guy with a hat or something. And the idea is that basically he can pass a door like so. And when he passes the door, a light above it shines like that. And when he does, that links the door. So then he can make a new door at another location, you know, over here, for example. And when he does, it links over to this door like that. So you can use that to basically teleport. You can teleport, you know, whenever you want. Enemies will go. There's different kinds of enemies. Some will be able to enter the door immediately. Some will pass doors and enter every other door. Some will destroy doors. Some won't enter doors. So that allows us to kind of have a very simple level of fidelity where it's like, oh yeah, you have to kind of work around it. Maybe you know, Certain doors can't be destroyed, like metal doors. Other doors are able to be destroyed, which are the doors you put down, like wooden doors. And that's the general idea. I think that's a very solid, very simple approach. We have a very easy blueprint to kind of recreate. It's tile based. We can use LDTK for our level editor. And we have the player, we have at least one enemy, we have gold that we have to pick up, maybe an exit, and that's the general idea. No jumping. You can maybe climb. We'll kind of explore the mechanics, the actual mechanics of like what the player can do. We know he'll be able to move around. We'll know that he won't be able to jump because, or maybe he can jump and teleportation. We'll have to do some exploratory coding there. William says how you make your games, how like your Linux setup and VS Code add-ons, etc. Okay, I'll go into that real quick. Yeah, it's not going to be a setup video, but I will show how I have my VS Code set up once we actually start making this. So I think the general idea for what we have here, it's solid one. Is a solid one. And so we're gonna have enemies here. This is gonna be we have to have them. So there's gonna be one that, let's see, enters doors, one that eats doors, one that skips every other door, and one that skips all doors. So this mechanic, I think this set of mechanics, I think is pretty solid. We want levels, and we want to be able to have, let's say, to finish the game, we'll say we'll have 40 levels. And we need music. And actually, we'll say that there's different themes. So let's see. So let's see. We have world themes, right? So like in this game, as I recall, there were different themes, like maybe factory, or we can come up with different things, like maybe factory, jungle, city, something like that. So we'll do it like this. We have city. That's probably the beginning, right? Because doors are a man-made construct. So we'll start with something familiar, city, and then we'll end with something unfamiliar, space. And it will go in that direction. So maybe you got city, you have forest, might be the next one, right? So like a jungle, and then maybe like something else in the space. Every 10 levels, the theme changes. So this will require 4 different tile sets, essentially. So city, forest, something in space. What would be the next one? Maybe moon would be the last one? No, that's space. So maybe like, what would be another good area? Maybe like an aqueduct. So maybe, yeah, like city, aqueduct, forest, space. So maybe aqueduct has water, forest has maybe like vines, space is maybe like low gravity, something like that. We can maybe mess with different mechanics, but this is mainly just to make a visual change. Okay, music we'll need one song for each theme. So we'll say maybe 5, maybe 6 songs, maybe like title screen. Well, I guess we'll outline it here. We have title screen. We have the city theme. We have the aqueduct. We've got the forest. We've got space. And then we've got win. Or I guess, game over. We've got win. So that's the themes. So this is basically our game. This is the general idea of basically how the mechanics work. We're gonna write some more stuff down. Tony Powell says, "Yo, Solar, it's been a while since I've seen a game dev video, broski. I've had to watch some of your older videos for some game dev motivation. Glad to see you back at it. You're gonna be here more often. Hopefully so. Yes, that's the plan, is to basically make stuff more often, because it's been a few months since I last streamed some game development, and I'd like to keep doing it, and I'd like to make something more complete. I haven't finished anything. So the goal here is to make something complete. We have a blueprint here, which is Load Runner. Very popular game. I liked it a lot. And it's very simple. That's what I like about it. It's very simple, very straightforward. And it's easy to expand if you wanted to expand it. Like if you wanted to make it like a Metroid-like, you could go in that direction. If you wanted to make it kind of like the gold you pick up in the missions, gives you money to like upgrade your abilities. You can do that kind of thing. Like, you know, you can kind of explore it a little bit, but the core concept is very easy to understand. It's very fun. Except ours will be with doors. So now the interesting thing about Load Runner is that you have your ability to explore the map is by digging, and that is also a defensive slash offensive option. And before we continue, let me get some music going here. Let's get some let's see. All right, that's, I think, good volume. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, digging in Load Runner is an offensive option, right? You can just like, you can attack enemies by basically digging in front of them, they fall in, and then you just wait. I want something similar in my game, where basically you can use your doors as a means to attack. How could you do that? Well, if you can set up and take down doors, then basically you can make a door that doesn't go anywhere, place it down, an enemy walks into it, and then you can close the door, or like collapse the door, and so the enemy gets destroyed. It takes time, so you can't do it like, you can't really use it as an offensive option if there's multiple enemies behind you, just like you couldn't do it in this game, in Load Runner. Like, you could dig, but you couldn't just like dig repeatedly, right? Like, you could dig for one enemy or two enemies, but then if you're too close, you'll get caught. So and you have to dig in the right direction. So I think that probably would be a good system. So you can place doors, you can remove doors. And if a door is placed, but it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't link, then going into it won't actually transport you anywhere. You'll simply duck in for like 1.5 seconds, and then you can duck out, and that's it. So that basically the core, let's write this down. So the core system, I guess you could say the gimmick, is door handling, or I guess door creation. I think the game's gonna be called Door Jam. I'm not sure if there's a B for Door Jam. I'm not sure if there's, let me see. Yeah, okay, it is. Don Duval says, "Can you create a door, get an enemy in it, and then remove the door?" Yeah, that's the offensive option of using the door. You can use it to transport, but you can to essentially teleport. But you can also use it to like trap enemies. Create the door, get them in it, and then close the door. And that also works well because the enemies who don't enter doors are now more dangerous because you can't trap them. That would be like enemies that couldn't be, don't fall down holes in Load Runner, which I don't know if there are any, but that would be an interesting one if maybe they move slower, but they can't fall down holes. So basically you can create a door. So like button press, create a door, and then button press to destroy the door. I spell the door here. Let's see, so that's the general idea. Unlinked doors can be used to hide. Only one person can use a door at a time. Don Duval says, "Dang, this sounds like a really nice game mechanic. Seriously wish I was this imaginative." Thank you. It seems it's pretty easy. Like we're not pretty easy, but like it's easy to come up with ideas if you start with a base. Like using Load Runner as a game that I like to play and that was simple enough that I could see myself making pretty quickly. It's easy to be like, okay, well, it's Load Runner, but instead of digging holes, you can place doors or whatever. You could easily extend this to something else, like maybe jumping. Like just being able to jump between blocks would basically be a different game. Or maybe the ability to like absorb enemies to become jumps, or maybe placing elevators. Yeah, like what if it was like you could place an elevator or place ladders essentially and get up to different vertical areas. So now it's like, where do I place a ladder? And maybe you can like place a ladder onto an enemy to destroy them. So you have to like, you have an offensive option, but you can't really use it constantly. Yeah, there's a lot of ideas you could go with. It becomes easier when you're like, what would be fun to tweak, you know, just to make a very slight difference, very slight change. So only one person can be used at a time. So linked doors created by passing a door. Link. Or no, wait. Well, no. Yeah. I was thinking, what if you have to enter a door to link to it? But I think that's unnecessary. That's not necessary. So you pass a door to basically link it. And then when you place a door, it links together. Create link doors are created by passing a door to start the link and then placing the door. Okay, so that's the general idea. Actually, give me a couple seconds. I just have to do something real quick. I'll be right back. Okay. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. So let's see. Let's see. Tony Powell says, will there be power-ups or level hazards? There definitely can be level hazards. There could be like spikes or maybe other things that kind of impede your movement, but that the general idea I think here is hazards. Yeah, there could be hazards. For the city, a hazard could be spikes. For the aqueduct, a hazard could be rushing water that pushes you back. For the forest, there could be maybe monkeys, or maybe spikes here. I mean, there definitely could be different hazards for the forest and for the space. Pardon me, space levels. Maybe space just has like bottomless pits. Yeah, that might be good. I think in Load Runner, I don't remember if it loops horizontally or not. I don't think it does. I think you just can't walk off the edge. So in space with bottomless pits, you could actually fall down and die. Forest, maybe it has like temporary vines. I think aqueduct with rushing water definitely could work. Let's see. Rin Maverick says, "Oh, I set a reminder and I still managed to miss the start of the stream." Oh, don't even worry. We're just like theorizing on a game here. Umut Balkan says, "How was your experience with GoGL?" I have never used it actually. I think it could work really well. You know, just Golang plus OpenGL. That's fantastic. I was actually trying to do 3D with Ebiton, which is an interesting experiment. I'd like to keep working on it, see if I can get something up and running to the point of being able to like make a 3D object in a 2D game. I think that would be a cool little ability. Panos Georgladis, I think that's right, says, "I'm just starting with Go Gamedev. I think I will pick Ebiton for starters." Yeah, I think Ebiton's a good choice, and I probably would do that as well, so that if anyone watches the stream later, they can refer to this and they can, you know, kind of follow along on their side. Also, I think I'm a little choppy here. Let me see if I can switch this on the fly. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, better. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we have, I think, enough to definitely start with, Once we finish all of these things, we're basically done with the game. So Jacob says 3D in Ebiton sounds nuts. Good luck with that. Yeah, that's definitely nuts. Actually, I'll show what I have so far just real quick. If this opens, basically I just got to the point of rendering a 3D model in 2 dimensions. Like it's there's no projection yet, but this is a rabbit. You know, I think you're familiar like with the Stanford rabbit. I think is it the Stanford rabbit model. It's flipped, of course, vertically. It needs to be. It's not projected, but it's rendering. And this is basically done in like software. So it's not the most efficient. It's taking up basically 1 core of my CPU to render. I think it's like 6 of them. Oh, this is the wrong one. Hold on. It's this one. It's taking up like 1 core of my CPU to render 20 models, 20 bunnies, which actually isn't bad. That's not bad at all. That's like maybe 50,000 faces, 50,000. So like maybe with a little bit more, you know, pushing, I might be able to get it to like, you know, to the point of being able to play like you might be able to make Mario 64 in it. Maybe like Mario 64-ish. The bunny has 4,968 faces, which are triangles. So 4,968 times 20. So that's like, yeah, like 100,000 face triangles. So far, it's gonna drop as I do like texturing, if possible. I have no idea if I will be able to do texturing and stuff. So that's why I'm like, I kind of stalled. But I feel like it'd be fun to have like just the ability to draw like some very basic 3D, to do stuff like, oh, you have like a, you know, hologram in your game. You could have like an actual 3D like isohedron, like, you know, the little like triangle sphere, and just have it like, you know, spinning or something like that, just to kind of have some very basic 3D. Anyway, that's a subject for another day. So what we have here is working well. It's, I think, a good idea. I'm still thinking about this door system. Yeah, I think this door system actually would work pretty well, because you pass by the door and then you can teleport back. So, but the thing about Load Runner, is you had the ability to basically go to places kind of freely, right? So you had like, you know, your character there, and you could dig down and drop down to somewhere below. There's no vertical movement in my game, in this theoretical thing, because basically you just have the ability to pass by where you've already been. So maybe doors can be used like elevators. Maybe you're placing elevators, so you can place a door. Let's say, let's make another. So let's say we have a level designed kind of like this, right? Where let's say here's, you know, the ground. Here's the ground. The player's down here. And here's a door up here. He could place a door here to basically go up that way. That's one way it could go, is basically we just allow the player to teleport in maybe any direction, as long as there's another door in the same way, in the same axis. That way you could do stuff like, that way you could do stuff like this, where basically you can't go through this area, but you can teleport there by using this door. You can teleport back and forth. That's definitely an idea. Because otherwise, if we had this kind of a system, the only way to get up here would be to place, let's say, a ladder. And then you have to go up the ladder and over, pass by the door, go back down, and then you can link them. So I feel like maybe just having a door, placing a door in the same like column or row as another door would allow you to teleport to it. That way you don't have to pass by it. Lucretia says, oh, that's cool. Maybe you can abstract enough where there's a special door that teleports you to a door in a different level, which is how you get to the next level. Yeah, yeah, I could do that. Maybe like there's a B-side to maybe one of the themes. Like basically, maybe the forest has like a front and back. So when you go through the door, it teleports you to the other side of the map, which is just another map. But like you have this free traversal kind of system. That's an idea. But I want to keep it simple. I feel like this is a simple enough, easy enough to understand kind of system. Because the passing by system is easy to understand, but it doesn't allow you any additional movement options. Just shooting it random ideas. No, that's a good idea. I feel like, you know, that's definitely something I could implement. I'm unsure of it being simple enough, but I feel like it would definitely fit in as a kind of gimmick on a stage. Also, I think instead of spikes here, you might also have like treadmills. That definitely feels like a city thing to have, treadmills. Bottomless pits. It's something else with space would be good. But anyway, I think that this would be a good system because this allows you to basically say like, oh, I need to place a door here. Like if this door didn't exist, you know, you say, oh, okay, I need to make a door here to move on. And then we don't have to have a ladder. That would make enemies that destroy doors much more dangerous, because otherwise it's like you can never get somewhere you couldn't get before, essentially. Like if you had to pass by doors to link them, there's not really anything dangerous because you can only get to places you can get to normally, right? Like there's no danger if an enemy destroys the door you place here if you can just walk up the ladder, essentially. But if there is no ladder and the only way to get here is through this door and you go through it, then an enemy destroys the door, you're done. You have to basically restart the level. And so that creates more danger. I like that. I like that. That system I think is better. That is good, and that can also be, I think, more easily visualized by, let's create another whiteboard. That can be more easily visualized, I think, by basically making it so that doors, now I was thinking about this, obviously I've been thinking about this before I started the stream, but basically like making a black like background to the door that passes behind, like an elevator. Something like this. Oh. Yeah, like I think that would be a good. I was gonna have this anyway, but doing it like that allows you to visually see it. Tony Powell says, I know this is off topic, and it'll be a while before my game is at this point, but would you be interested in doing some contract work to make a soundtrack for other games? Yeah, I'd be interested. You'll be looking to hire a composer, maybe selling the rights to some songs that you've already made, like Ransom. Listen to that song when developing my game multiple times. Thank you very much. I appreciate that you've listened to it a lot. But yeah, it's I would love to make music for other games. So yeah, if you have any games, please hit me up. solarloon@gmail.com, or on my Discord. That's fine. Jacob Field says, off topic, but the whiteboard is a really cool new feature of Masterplan. Thank you. I appreciate it too. Like especially now, like now that I'm using it, it's like, man, this is really nice. like without this, I would have to like switch between a sprite or something. But this is good. Like switch between like, you know, tools, programs. But this is a nice visual method. So I think we have a general idea of how this is going to work. So it's same column, same row, links purely by being there. That's it. Lucretia says, nice, I'll have Solar as a guest composer when I release my game in 20 years. Aspiring Pixel says, good greetings. Missed a couple streams. Last I watched was the convenience store pixel art. Oh wow, it's been a while, yeah. So yes, welcome. We're in the middle of making an arcade game. And I want to make it, basically I'm making something really simple, an arcade game based on kind of Lode Runner, because I think that was a lot of fun. I like the graphic style, I like the general simple gameplay. The game is going to be called probably Door Jam, and the gimmick is door creation, to basically teleport between doors. That's the concept. All right, so I think we have enough to go ahead and actually start developing. We're going to make a new folder for this. Did I say Lode Runner like? I think I did, right? Yeah, Lode Runner like. That's fine. So we're opening the folder here, and there's nothing in here. We're going to use Go mod in it, and we're gonna say solarloon.com/Lode Runner like. All right, there we go. We're gonna make a new main file. It's in package main. We're just gonna start coding. So this should basically be good to go. Yeah, there we go. We're going to use Ebitin, I think, because it's relatively easy to go ahead and work with, and it's simple. Tony Powell says, "Sweet, that sounds great. Looking forward to working with you." Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'd love to give it a shot. See if we can make some songs. No guarantees, of course, depending on my availability in the future. But yeah, if anyone has any requests, or anyone would like to request me to work as a composer on their project, please do let me know. Okay, so we're going to be using Ebitin, so we're going to go ahead and import Ebitin. I've already, actually, let me pull this up. Okay, GitHub project. Cheat sheet. Or not cheat sheet, install, here we go. So yeah, this is the requirements. Windows, Mac, or Linux. It requires Go, it requires a C compiler. On Linux, it requires these dependencies. I already have them installed. And then that's basically it. So we just basically require this. This is the package name. So we're gonna say import Ebitin, or import that, and then Ebitin dot run game, and that should basically do it. After we run it, to add it. Oh, huh? Wait, this, what's up with this visualization is a little weird. Anyway, yeah, so we have to just go ahead and import this. So this says basically, actually, we actually have to do this, but that's weird. I thought that the Go mod did this for us. Let me try this. There we go. Okay, Go mod wasn't working properly before. All right, so Ebitin dot please finish code completion. Run game. And this is the V2, right? Yeah, okay. So it requires a game. And, all right, V2. All right, we're good. So we're gonna make a struct, which is the game. It's gonna update. It's going to draw. And it has to fulfill this interface, which is update, draw, and layout. So update returns an error, or basically if you want to, close the game, or if something else happens, draw takes an image, which is a pointer to an Ebitin image, and then also layout. Oops. Basically returns what size the game is internally. And so we're just gonna say it's 320 by 240 for now. And then we'll say game. There. All right, so that should get us basically with the window. it does. Cool. It's not resizable, and there's no like text, like there's no title, window title, but we definitely can fix that. Brian Tweet Talk says, is this your full-time job? Kinda, yeah. This is kind of basically my full-time job. Van Yama says, hey, what's your DE and theme? It looks so sleek. Thank you. This is Pop OS, and my theme is kind of a mishmash, actually. Let me see. My theme is Deepen Cursor, Flat Remix, Red, Darkest Solid, No Border. This is the icon, Marwaita, and then Shell's MGT Light up here. Rashad Z says, yo, sup, how's it going? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna just go ahead and make it so that this, the title and the window is resizable. So we'll close it here. We can do this in the new games function. We'll just say ebitin.set window title. This will be door jam. And then also, we want it to be resizable. DevS says noise. It is noise. Yeah, Ebitin's not too shabby, actually. So that works. Jacob Field says, this is one thing I like about frameworks. They usually just have a nice, simple update, draw, and load setup. It's easy for experienced coders and beginners. Yeah, that is what I like about frameworks. It's not a lot of other stuff. Very simple. So, main level struct. Level. Alright, so we're gonna have an update and a draw, which is gonna take an Ebitin image, which is basically the screen. New level returns a level. There we go. Okay. Level. Cool. Alright, so what we're going to do now, every game is composed of looking at a level, we'll say. So we have a pointer to a level, and so we just say level. We're going to pass the pointer to the game, and we will store that as well here. Alright, so basically we can always access the game, which is good because we might want to do something like this. Height, and then we just return game.width and game.height here, which is actually, we can just make these hints, which is good because like you might want to do things like maybe position things on the corner, on the edges, you know, so this is an easy way to know how big the game is, how big the window is. Next we'd say window width or screen, I guess that would probably would be better. Screen width and screen height. Oh, try that again. There we go. All right, so that's it. That's a good start. Now, the next thing we're going to do is actually get something drawing on screen, which should be relatively easy. Let's draw a sprite. This is going to be the player. Actually, before we do, let's figure out how big we want the screen to be. I'll just start that up. But, okay. So on this screen, in Load Runner, this is a one screen large game. Or one screen large level. It does stretch sometimes, but it's one screen large here. And the player takes up one block basically in size. This is 3 across. So if we want something kind of similar where you can explore a little bit, let's actually count this out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's about right. Yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait, let's do it the smart way. I don't know why I'm doing this stupid way. What we will do is we will grab this We will save this image. There we go. And then I will open it up in like Paint or something. Not Paint, but like in GIMP. And then we can kind of see how big. Because I know that the squares are probably 16 by 16. And I want something similar, but I also want it to be like, you know, widescreen. Like I want it to be, you know, kind of modern. I don't want it to be like a 320 by 240 game or anything like that. All right, so we will view a grid. We would like to change the grid size to be, I believe it's 16 by 16. No, maybe not. Seems like it's off slightly. Is it? It's definitely starting on the left. There's no offset. Okay, so maybe it's not 16 by 16. Maybe it's like, how big is this guy? Or wait, no, how big is this guy? Maybe he's... I'm assuming everyone's the same size. This is 20, so maybe it's 20 by 20. By 20. No, it's a little too big. It's a little too big. I feel like it is 16 by 16. Maybe the enemy is just a little bigger. Okay. Is that it's slightly off? Maybe it's 15 by 15. That looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit like it's evenly divided. It's off still, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be exact. We're not trying to create an exact replica. We're just kind of trying to get an idea. Oh, it's not a perfect, okay. The screenshot is like, is misaligned, I think. The screenshot, yeah, it seems like the screenshot is a little misaligned. Okay, that's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So roughly 24 by roughly, what, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I guess we don't have to do the height because we're looking for basically what size it should be width-wise. So it's 24, roughly 24 cells wide. So if we're working with a size of 16 by 16, that's 384. Now if we want to do 24 by 9, that's 2x16. So that's going to be maybe our game size is basically 384 by 216, 16:9, and that should be. Oh no, wait, hold on. I did that wrong. 24 is how wide it is. So let's start with that. So 384, and then 16 divided by 9 is this, or I guess 9 divided by 16 is this. Multiply that by 384. That's our height. Okay, I did this right. 216. We're gonna add an additional. Do we want to add anything additionally? No, that's fine. Let's start with this. We will fill the image. With a color, it will be a dark gray. So we can kind of see, and that should be basically what we're looking at. All right. Yeah. So this is our play field basically. This is our screen, the gray area. Franklin Dantas says, "I'm in remote class and watching you live. I'm from Brazil and you're phenomenal. Congratulations." Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Really, thank you very much. Wow. Yeah. So this is good. This is solid. So this being what it is, we can basically we have a screen, we have a window. So now what we're gonna do, we should be able to basically easily split this up into little chunks. So it's 384 by 216. We're gonna pull up LDTK real quick. I just want to be able to ensure that when we just define our level, we're going to be working with a nice area. We're gonna make a new one. We're gonna go to load runner like. Okay. This will be, we're going to say assets. This will be, this can just hang out here, I think. This will be, we'll just call it levels. That's fine. So LDTK, basically everything, like all levels basically sit in a single file by default. So our default new level size is going to be what we define, 384 by 216. And we will define it here, like so. So 384, 216. 216 is not there, so 224 will have to be what it is. Well, this is interesting. Okay, so 216 is between 208 and 224. So our level will have to be 208, and we'll have some blank space at the bottom. We will see this once we kind of get it a little bit more into it, but this is fine, I think, for now. All right, so this is the first level. This is what it looks like. It looks similar to Load Runner. Okay, nice. So what we're gonna do now, we're going to go ahead and get the level rendering. I feel like that's the first thing, because we need to be able to make sure that we kind of have a good concept of like proportions and all that stuff, how the level is wide and everything before we really get the player movement and things like that in. So we're going to go ahead and create a tile set. This will be the player for now, but for the tile set, we will work with probably a 256 by 256 texture. It doesn't have to be big. We will kind of start off with a very basic brick texture. I feel like would be fine. Well, actually, let's do concrete, because it's supposed to be a city, I think, first. I always like this darker color for concrete. We will something like this. We will have maybe something like this. Okay, that's definitely a good start for a ground for the bottom. And then for like floating blocks, we'll do something like, let's change up the color a little bit. We want it to be a little more interesting looking. We'll use, yeah, this color, and then like something like this. And then give us something like, yeah, that's fine. This will be tile set, and this will be in here. We'll need a graphics folder, and that's where the tile set will be. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and define a layer. Actually, no, yeah, that's right. Define a layer. This will be a tiles layer. We'll create a new tile set. This will load in from here. Oh, I haven't exported it. Let's go back over here. Export it as tileset.png. There we go. Okay, so this is correct. Layer tile layer has no tile set. Let's change that. Layer. Okay, we select the tile set 2. That's fine. Okay, so now we're working with this. We probably don't want like this much blank space. We probably want something more like that. And this guy can be like up here. Okay. It's interesting because this feels a little big. It feels a little maybe overly wide. Let's take a look back at no, maybe not. No, I guess it's, yeah, okay. This is right. I feel like it's right correct. Boondy says, hey, hello, how's it going? Nice closet door, by the way. Thanks. Rashad Z says, wait, there's a level editor with the framework? No, this is a level editor called LDTK. It's a level editor made by the guys who made, or initially made by the guys I mean, it's open source, but it's made by the guys who made Dead Cells. So yeah, you can look it up and try it out. It's pretty solid. It's not as developed as Tiled, but it also is kind of like smoother in terms of like the UI and stuff. It's a little less like odd looking. It just kind of looks nice. It just kind of looks nice, and it's being kind of actively developed. It's nice. Yeah, Lucretia says it's super cool. I'm stealing the world editor idea for my own level. Yeah, it is cool. Like, you have the ability to, oh, it's W. You have the ability to like position levels and stuff like that. Like, you can make a level and like position it next to another one or something like that. And because it's all in one file, you can actually tell when you like are loading it into your project. You can tell like, oh, what's the level below me? What's the room to my right? Like, that's really nice. It's very convenient. It's very smooth. I think Tiled has a similar feature, but I've never really looked into it. Yeah, LDTK. Okay, so let me get some. Allow me to hydrate. All right, so this should be a good start. So what we're gonna do now is get this loading in, and the best way to do that is to actually we don't want this to back up. There we go. Best way to do that is to use because I already did this. I made a framework to basically load in LDTK levels, which is LDTK Go. We will put this in the level struct. Project. Okay, there we go. Load file. This is strange. Usually this does this for me. I don't remember having to like call go get. Like, normally when I do this, it just like automatically resolves, but I've been having to do this instead. Odd, I don't quite remember. Anyway, William says, can you zoom in on the code? Sorry about that. Sure. We'll zoom into this level. Okay, so we are grabbing my package, my LDTK Go package. And this is where we're expecting a file path. So we actually can't use it like this. Actually, let's put this out from the level into the game, because there's one project for the entire game. So put this here, and then we'll say game.ldtk project equals ldtkgo.load load file rather, and then we'll need to get a local path to the levels LDTK file. The easiest way to do this, well, there's a couple ways actually. One thing we can do is to go ahead and basically embed the file directly in our code, which is a new feature from Go like 1.16. So we don't have to actually like package the graphics, package all this stuff. We can just put it right in our code, which is fine, because that way we don't have to do like local paths and worry about all that kind of stuff. So let's do that. Let's just make it easy. I have to look it up to see exactly how we embed stuff again, but it's pretty simple as I recall. All right. So according to Alberto de Murga, I know I'm mispronouncing it, but Alberto de Murga on Medium, embedding files natively in Go 1.16. He basically walks through it, and it's just basically this is the syntax. So you just import embed. So we're just gonna go like this, embed, and then we're gonna say the LDTK project goes here. We say go embed, and this is gonna be we're embedding assets, levels that LBTK, and this is going to be coming in as a byte. And then we say load, instead of load file, we're going to use load bytes, and we're going to pass in the LDTK bytes like that. We don't care about handling an error, because if it works once, it should always work, because that's the point, and we should be good. So let's actually see if this works. Yo, looks like it did. So free 256, 256. There's the background color, and then there's some more information. Yeah, there's the world layout, world grid width and height, background color as a color.color, JSON version, and then there's the levels. There's 2 of them in our LDTK file, level 1 and level 2. So that's working. Cool. Now I'm gonna tweak this a little bit, because I'd like to import all of my assets as a file system, rather than importing like the LDTK file as a series of bytes and then like the tile set as a series of bytes. Like, it's easier to import everything as something we can access. And to do that, as I recall, yeah, it will add, okay, so here's a quick little rundown. Here you can add all specified files like this, or you can just add like the entire directory. So we'll go with, and then it says var static, yeah, embed.fs. Okay, so we're gonna go with that process. We're just gonna say assets. It's gonna be embed.fs, and it's gonna be all the assets. Valid pattern. Should just be assets. Yeah. Okay. So now LDTK bytes is going to be probably something like assets.open. Assets.open. This is going to be. So this is assets. So that. It's probably gonna be local to this folder, so it'll just be levels. LDTK. We don't care about an error, and then we'll just say bytes.read. Or wait, yeah, okay. Actually, we just use os.read file. No, we don't use read file. We have to. Is it iutil.read? Read file. Read all. Does that work? No. No, it needs a reader. Let's see. The thing about this is that an FS file is just an interface for stat, read, and close. Read file. Give me some time to, well, actually, let me look at the documentation. Let me just, look at it. So an FS is a hierarchical file system, minimum implementation. It just opens and returns a file, an FS file, which is just an interface that has stat, read, and close. So read just reads into the bytes. So how do I know how many bytes to read? Let's see. Once we get this once, we won't have to do it again, because it will be done for all files. Like, we can just encapsulate this in a nice little function. So LDTK file. Let's set open. So it's a file. Like, this particular part of Go is where I kind of struggle with this specific mechanic, where it's like you're reading. I understand you're passing in a sequence of bytes and it's going to read it into the bytes, but how do I know how many bytes to pass? I don't want to use stat, right? That's not the right. Let me look this up. Let's see. Static image byte. Let me check this out real quick. Oh, is it just... No, okay. Okay, we could try that. Wait, IO utility read all. But I can't. Oh, I can. Alright, that makes it simple. Okay. Wait, this is... Oh, that's why it didn't work. And this is unused. That's my bad. Okay. That's all. Okay, that's all you gotta do. That's not all you gotta do. DTK bytes. Okay, let's see. IO read all, IO util read all. But this is just calling IO read all, so we'll just import that. Read all reads from R into error or into file. Returns data read. Okay, so is it giving us an error? Is that what's going on? Oh, so the file isn't being opened. Okay. That's what the... Okay, so let's see. Okay. Open file does not exist. Okay, so then this isn't working. Levels.lttk. I wonder why. I thought... Let's see. Is assets actually containing any information? It is. Okay. Do I have to do like that? Oh, that's weird. I thought for sure, like, if you're embedding assets, I assumed if you're embedding assets in like an entire directory, it would be local to that directory, but apparently not. Okay, that's fine. So, oh, I guess because you might have multiple directories, like maybe assets, like, you know, like directory A, you know, directory B, like that. So you'd still have to add. Okay, that makes sense. All right, assets. All right, cool. So assets open, we're opening this, we're reading the bytes, and then we're returning, we're loading bytes in. Okay, so that's working. So we're gonna make a common thing here, common package. Well, not a common package, a common folder, a common file rather. And we're just gonna stick this kind of code in there so we can just kind of make it easier. We're just gonna say open or read from assets, file path string, and then we're just gonna say like assets plus file path. We're gonna assume there's no errors for now, and then we're gonna return bytes. we're going to prefer closing the file. And that's it. Luis Figueredo says, bytes.buffer.io.copy. I'm out of context, so just throwing. Yeah, no problem. My bad. I always forget like how to load file bytes from a file. I always forget like quite how that works, and I never do it enough. Okay, like directly. All right, so this should be kind of what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do this instead. Read from assets. So I guess we'll just say open assets. You know what? Just say open asset. And this will be levels.lbda. Good. All right. So now what we're gonna do is actually draw the level, and doing that should be relatively simple. Should be. What we're going to do now is we're going to make a renderer. Well, we're not going to make a renderer. We're going to use the default renderer that uses Ableton, which should be relatively simple. So we're going to say renderer. Actually, let's put that in the level. So we don't need this anymore. Renderer is going to be ldtk go dot. I don't remember what's the. I don't quite remember where. I don't quite remember where the renderer is. Let's see. Let's see what my code looks like. Temple. It's weird. I thought I had a renderer in here. Do I not? Yeah. Renderer. Where's? Okay. All right, well, this is what we're looking for. I didn't want to like go to my GitHub to find it, but this is what we're looking for. No. Where? I know I have a renderer. All right, let me look it up. The job company says Horizon theme for the win. Yeah, the Horizon theme do be putting in work. Let's see. All right. So we have an Ableton renderer here. It is located under. This is what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Ableton renderer. Okay, renderer dot. Can I import? Okay. I should find it. I know it exists. Okay, so this tileset loader. Okay, there we go. So it's working. All right, now to actually, I wonder if this would be more easily done another way, but this is fine. This is fine. For this to work, we need to do this actually a little bit differently. So for this to work, we need to pass a renderer, a tileset loader for the renderer. So we can do this by doing something like new disk loader. But the thing is, we actually would rather pass the tileset loader a different way. So let's make our own tileset loader. It's basically just an interface that takes load tileset and returns an image. So this will be a type tileset loader struct. set loader. Okay, so render.new everything renderer. This will be new tile set loader. Current everything.new or everything util.load. New image from file. Oh, this is where we're going. Okay. Now the thing is, this creates an image from a file. We probably don't want to do that because this is loading, like externally loading a file. We want to rather create a new image from a sequence of bytes because that's where our file is coming in. So let's take a look here at Evitin's documentation. Cheat sheet. Let's see, new image. So this just creates a width and height. This just creates a new image from a source image. So that might be our in, is to create a new image from a Golang image, and then just decode, yeah, from a reader. Okay, that's how we're gonna do it. All right, so what we're gonna do is instead of using everything util like we normally do, or like I normally do, we're going to call image.decode, and we're gonna basically pass this or transform this into an Evitin image. Decode is going to take. Actually, before we do, let's turn out the path, and we're gonna turn nil because I want to see, is the path. I think the path is relative to the level file. But let me double check that. So we have a new renderer. That's fine. And we're gonna render out the first level. All tiles. Oh, we don't need a render. No, wait. All tiles undefined. Oh, I must have changed the renderer. What's this one? This is a problem that I'm having because I'm the developer of like this tool, and I'm not sure if I push my changes yet. Like if you're doing this yourself, like if you're like working trying to do this kind of thing, I don't think you would have this kind of problem. But because I'm the guy who, like, I am my own worst enemy. Let me see here. This is the LDTK goes, source code. We're gonna take a look here. Example. Let's see if this runs. It most certainly does run. It crashes though. It didn't used to crash. I have half a mind to remove the renderer system because it doesn't really but I don't really want to do all this myself again. All right, let's fix this. We'll fix this real quick. So it does work, it just crashes whenever you switch. Okay. Definitely an issue here. Something like that. You know what? Let's not get lost in the sauce. This is a topic for another day. I would rather just get cracking. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna copy this entire thing and kick it out into my game for now. We don't care about the disk loader because we're not using a disk loader. Actually, we don't care about the we don't have to have a tileset loader like interface. We can just make a loader. I'm getting lost in the sauce. I'm definitely getting lost in the sauce, but that's okay. That's okay. So that's part of the process. It's get lost in the sauce. Let's simplify this. Tileset loader, we don't need that. Disk loader. We'll just work with the disk loader. Yeah, we'll just work with the disk loader. So what we want to do is decode an image. Or asset, pick an asset. We want to, that's going to give us the set path. We want to decode the tileset path. Now this isn't going to work because tileset path is already, or tileset rather, data. This isn't going to work because tileset data is a byte array. This is IO reader. It doesn't work. Do we need the bytes directly, or is this going to decode given something that reads the bytes, so we can just use assets directly? Oh yeah, we can just do it like this. Okay, so assets plus tileset path. This is a file, right? All right, tile image. We don't care about the string or the error. And then we just want to return new image from image, tile image, and that's it. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Loader is going to be a disk loader. We don't need a base path. This is what I was talking about. Okay, layer.all tiles undefined. So let me take a look at my previous Ableton LDTKO. I feel like all tiles does exist, doesn't it? Yeah, all tiles is right here. Did I never push this, or? No, I did. All tiles is definitively here. So why is this not working? Yeah, this is interesting. All tiles undefined. 2021, March 10th. Yeah, that's right. Huh, okay. This is the same issue that was happening previously. Why is all tiles not detected? Yeah, it's not detected. Undefined. This is a core part of development. I think I say this whenever like I get stuck, but it always is true. This function is definitively here. And if I go on GitHub, I believe it's also there. Yeah, it's right there. So why is this saying it's not there? Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, why is it saying LDV 0.8.1? I didn't say that. Okay. We don't need the renderer anymore. Let's try this. I meant master. Okay, that's what was going on. I have to make a new, okay, so I have to make a new tagged release so that it's like going to upgrade more reliably. All right, that should help us out. Yeah, new tiles are loader. We don't need that anymore. Btn renderer. We don't need a loader. Oh, this is using the old. Yeah, we don't need this. Okay. Master spicy. All right, now it's up and running. Okay, I was like, what's going on? I didn't know that. Now I know. That's the good thing about these streams is that like it always pushes me to like resolve issues that I run into inevitably. So this is working. This is working. So this I believe is also rendering out our level to the renderer. So now all we have to do is just actually draw that to the screen. So we just say image.draw image, and we're gonna grab the level renderers result, which rendered layers. So we'll just say like for layer and range, draw image layer image, and then we'll just go with yeah, just some basic draw options. I don't think this will actually do anything yet because we don't actually call draw. Yeah, we have to call game.level.draw and game.level.update. Okay, let's see if this works. Yo, it works. So it took some doing, but now it works. Hooray. Let's make this a little bit darker, the background. Actually, I kind of liked it before, but that's fine. So I'm thinking that, and this is what we were talking about before. This is, finally we got to the point of being able to tell what we were talking about. This little area at the bottom is basically where the map kind of is too big, or the map is too small for the screen. So there's a couple options. We could either make it so that the screen just ends here and stretch everything vertically by like 8 pixels, or we can make the map a little bit bigger so that we just don't have this blank space at the bottom. I'm a fan of the second option, so let's do that. Let's move this over here. Okay. All right. Now we can actually, let's make this a little bit easier so that if we press R, then we reload. That's done by just basically creating a new level and replacing the reference. And there we go, there we go. We can't see if it's reloading, but I trust that it is for now. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're going to actually draw a character and have them exist. So we'll just go with this here. It'll be, I don't know, it'll be a guy. Actually, he doesn't have to be 16 by 16 exactly. He can be a little bit bigger. He just has to fit. Well, I mean, like, he doesn't have to fit within a 16 by 16 square. His hitbox just needs to fit within a 16 by 16 square. Yeah, that's fine. So he can be a smidge bigger. We'll make him 24 by 24. I just want a wide boy. That's I just want a big chunky dude. Chunky dudes for protagonists always. Jacob Field says, does it update the LDTK file while still running? If so, that seems really handy. It does. It will do it when I reload. So like, if we should do it when I reload, or no, because the files are statically compiled or statically embedded. So like saving it, reloading doesn't do anything because the file is still static. So we have to actually do that. That's fine. There'll be once we get get going, it'll be a way around that we can work with. Okay. So next thing to do is get this guy up and running. So I'm just gonna go with probably flat colors, kind of in line with the tile set we have here, which is just flat colors, not really outlined or anything. So we're just gonna make a dude that looks like this. What if he had just like a magnificent forehead? This is getting there. This is getting there. Actually, I think I want it to be a woman. Actually, let's switch things up a little bit. I feel like I want that kind of chunky. Yeah, that chunky, like, arcade style. I'm just trying to figure out, like, the general look before I go too detailed. Let's 7. How big is he right now? He is 18 by 18, so he's very slightly over 16. So we can kind of we can push it a little bit. Okay. I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. All right, let's go for some colors now. So I'm not sure exactly what like the character's supposed to be in terms of like what their job is. Like why they're going through these doors or whatever, but I guess if it ends at space, then she would have to be some sort of like government agent, so I guess we'll give her a suit. Like alien invasion, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe a bartender? I don't know. It's just like, I have no idea. It's just, it feels, I like the vest. I like the, well, I guess that you could be a government agent and have a vest. That's fine. Yeah, I think. Something like this seems pretty good. She's got a little bit of that like Bubby Bobby kind of feel. I have no idea if a skirt would work. Well, a dress kind of works. So she's like an office worker. I'm getting there. There's definitely, I definitely could make this work. Let's see. Okay. This is all right. Gotta figure out how to like not have it overlap with the legs, but I think that there's definitely something here. Definitely a solid. Okay, I'm expecting someone to come by here, expecting something to happen. So I'm just keeping an ear out. Apologies. Yeah. Okay. This is, I think, a solid character sprite. It doesn't have to be too outlandish. I'm not sure why she's going to be able to like press doors, but that's not really important, I guess. Not really a way to. This will just have to do, yeah. I kind of like, yeah, I kind of like the whip. Three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're good. All right, we'll call this done. We'll call this the player sprite. Output JSON, yeah, that's fine. Let's give her a couple run frames. I'm liking this now. Like I'm kind of warming up to it. So this is her front leg, so it should be back here, I think. Her arm's way too big, but that's okay. Maybe this arm should probably be in. So yeah. Something like that. I think that's probably a good start, and then this arm would be up. Oops. And then we'll just duplicate this. This leg will now be back. This leg will be back here. Let's see. Actually, this is a crossing frame. Oh, that's why I was like, why is this looking weird? This is a crossing frame. So if her arms back, then her shoe needs to be like up here. Okay. Her leg is so wide, but like there's no This is so weird. This is so weird. Something like this, I think, would be good. Better? Okay. He's not wide. Her legs aren't wide enough. Like, it's just like it's too wide. And then 5 seconds later, it's not wide enough. But yeah, I think something like this should be solid. Okay, okay. I think this leg is too far back. I think that's solid. That's pretty solid. Okay, good. So now this frame should be more like neutral. Her arms should be more neutral. That's why it was looking weird. Her hands are massive, dude. Alright, I think this is pretty good. Let's call this a walk cycle. And actually, let's just do this. We're going to duplicate this frame here. There we go. And then this will be a brand new frame. Yeah, like that. Now this one, we're just gonna basically swap this. So this is the back foot. This is the front foot. Let's see. And then we just switch these. Yeah, color swap the legs. It could make a decent front tile. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so this is going to be basically gone. This is going to be here. Yeah, okay. That's more or less correct. Alright, solid. Now, on these frames, she should be slightly taller. There we go. Oh, the front leg is always the closest one to the camera. You're right. My bad. Well, it's the shading, though. The shading makes it look like her front leg being behind her is why it's dark. But I guess, yeah, we could just do like this. No, that looks weird. I feel like that's solid. Better. Yeah, that's pretty good, I think. It looks so good. Seeing this in real time is like looking at magic. Yo, thank you, Irving. I really do appreciate that. Using occlusion for distance. Yeah. If I understand you, yeah, I am. I think I am. Instead of shading for distance. Oh, I see what you mean. Occlusion. So you mean like just if you don't see it, it's because it's not in front? Like that. That's interesting. I'm not sure if that's what I want, but please explain more if I misunderstood, because I feel like I don't... I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I think this is fine for now, though. This is good. We also need one frame where she's like getting ready to go inside a door, so actually if I could get some, yeah. I'm just thinking about... It's too... That's solid. Well, she's not as wide in this shot. I don't know why she has to be wide. It just feels like that's like arcade games were just like kind of wide. I don't know. That's not what I mean when one obscures the other. I see a lot of art makes the left leg one color and the right another, no matter which one is front or back, they keep the same shade. Oh, I see. Whichever leg is in front is lighter and whichever one in back is darker. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay, so like this leg is always gonna be, and then that leg is always gonna be. Let's turn off the. Maybe if it was consistent, let's try maybe making the hands kind of similar. It might be a little too dark, but that might be on the right track. Let's see, like, what if we made it, but it was just slightly darker? Something like this. That kind of works. That kind of works. It wouldn't be as jarring. I think the color is too contrasted for that. Hell, hey, passing by, says Nikita Vichoos. Just wanted to say I'm in love with Master Plan. Look forward to the next updates. Yo, thank you. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. Hopefully, more people will use it and find it useful. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. Honestly, lighting, yeah, I don't like it too much. Yeah, I understand. Lighting is a little tough. Like, in this, lighting is very sparse. Character is not lit at all. Lighting is done on the Tendril monster, but like, I don't know. I think that maybe no lighting is like kind of more arcadey. So maybe I just won't have lighting. Maybe I'll just see if I can just kind of do something like this. Yeah. That feels pretty good. Her hair is like kind of, that actually adds a little bit. Just the smallest, slightest detail. All right, that's, and then she's super wide in this shot. Oh man, okay, this is so stupid. But yeah, I think this is a good start. At the very least, it's a start. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be usable for a prototype, basically. I have so many thoughts. The fun thing is when you're doing the work, it's easy to come up with ideas to try. But if I'm trying on my own, I feel stuck. Oh yeah, it's, well, I mean, I think that's part of game development. It's just like, you know, trying to get something to the point where it's like playable or fun. You know, that's the hard part. But like coming up with ideas definitely is the fun part of game development. Coming up with ideas and then like quickly implementing them. If you like have trouble, that's where it really kind of like becomes kind of a slog and it's a little tough. But yeah, I feel you. And I think that does look more arcadey. Just a very simple sprite. I like it. She doesn't have to look so dead in her eyes. Very slight, but that's fine. Oops. There we go. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna basically get this to the point where we can get a player on screen. So we're gonna make a new player. Oops. There we go. The player is gonna take an update function. The player is going to take a draw function. The player, that's it. We're also going to need some types. So like game object is going to be anything that has an update function and has a draw function. That takes image. So anything, you know, the player, enemies, they can be all game objects and be stored in a single array. Don't need this anymore. Let's get some better music or just different music. Okay. Now, yeah, let's get this going. I will import a sprite file. I'm not sure why I keep having to do this. Usually this does it for me. Bumping up the font one more point will do. Let's see. TJK says, came in late to the stream. What framework are we working with? Ebitin. Ebitin, E-B-I-T-E-N. Put it into chat. But yeah, it's a nice little 2D library for Golang. Do I read file? Open. Okay, so then we will go with read file. I have to rename that like open file or something, but that's fine. So we will read a file. The file will be... do this. Open asset. It's going to be assets/gfx/player.json. We will read this. And then okay, yeah, that's right. So player.asprite equals this. Turns player. Oh, there we go. Can't use byte as IL reader. Oh, that's right. So we don't actually. So I'm not sure if we even need an open asset because it seems like we're. Well, we'll see once we get there. But it seems like we're not really interacting with the open asset to get a string of bytes, but rather we want to get the file handle. So that is done by just going and getting assets.open player, oops, gfx/player.json. We don't care about an error because if there's an error, we'll handle it now, but we won't really need to do anything once it's actually done. So go asprite.read file. This is going to be ASC data. All right, so we're good there. We will need a position to draw this, but we'll deal with that later. So we will play the idle animation. Does it compile? Yes, it does. No problems. Cool. Let's go to the level. Each level needs to have the player. Well, I guess we'll just say a list of game objects. Alright, level.game objects is append, level.game objects game object. Alright, so for G range level.game objects, if G is equal to game object, then we want to slice out there we go. And then break, and we're done. Okay. So this should give us the ability to add and remove objects, at least to a certain extent. So, all right, we got everything we need. So now when we call update, we want to loop through the game objects and call update. And then same thing for the level. We want to, do we call draw? Yeah, we call draw right after. We call draw here. Pass in the image. All right, still compiling fine. Now we want to go ahead and be able to create a new player. We'll just say level.add new player. All right, and now we're getting this where we're printing out the X and Y position of the player, a sprite, which is fine. We want to call update on here with the delta time of, actually we'll need a level probably handle. Like that, and then we can just go to level like that. Player.level.game. We'll put delta time on the game. Go over here. And it's gonna be probably Abington.delta or time. As I recall, it does have like some sort of delta time construct. I don't remember what it is though. Let's look it up. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like it's in the cheat sheet. Can I get a API reference? Current FPS, we could probably use that. I thought there was delta though. I thought there was a time. Is there not? I guess there's not. Okay. FPS, current FPS, current TPS returns the current TPS ticks per second. That represents how many update functions, how many times the update function is called in a second. Okay, so then we'll use this current TPS. So current TPS, this will be basically 1 over current TPS. We'll just return float 64 because we don't need to not do so. We'll pass a reference to the level, to the player. We will. Dave Aker says, do you, current FPS and TPS is only updated once per second. That's fine. TJK says, do you parse the sprite file directly or only the exported JSON config? I only parse the exported JSON config. J Pont says, gotta love when you join a dev live stream and the open web page reads cheat sheet. Yeah, that's how you know a wise developer is at work. I only parse the exported JSON. Yeah, I mean, the sprite file isn't a text file by default, but I think it is possible to parse it. But I just parse this, which is fine for now. This needs to be float 32. And we should be good. Now we actually have to draw the sprite. Now, actually drawing the sprite requires that we load the image in a way that makes sense. So, because we don't want to, like, it's fine. Music Boy J Boy is back. Hello. Because we don't want to load, like, it's fine to load, let's say, the player sprite in the player struct or the new player function because, like, you know, it has to load somewhere. But for enemies, we probably don't want to load them in each enemy. We probably want to like have some sort of resource thing that does this. So that's what we'll do next. We'll just put it in a resources file. Like resources or struct. Save. Zadek says, "Hello, I just came here. Is this the same game like the one you were developing, Iquia?" No, this actually is a short arcade game. It's going to be a little like arcade action game, kind of like Lode Runner. That's the inspiration, and that's what we're working on. This is the characters sprite that I just finished, and this is what basically the game is going to look like when we're done. Something similar to this. The core mechanic is basically moving between doors. That's the basic idea. Now I'm not sure if we actually need a struct for this. We probably could put this right on the game to basically just return a resource. So we'll just make it like this. A resource is basically just a container for data, and we can easily coerce it into the type of resource that we're expecting. So it's just kind of like an intermediate thing, so that we don't have to constantly deal with all this open nonsense, open stuff, this kind of stuff where we're opening. I mean, this is fine, but like loading textures is a little rough. Not rough, but it's just a little awkward, as an example. So we'll wait. Let me just slow her. Yeah, this kind of stuff. Yeah, we'll deal with this. We'll deal with this slowly and surely. Music Boy J Boy says it kind of looks like Dig Dug. Yeah, Dig Dug was an arcade game, also an NES game, and similar games were similar. Joust, Spy Hunter, arcade games. Although Lode Runner is more of a puzzle game than Dig Dug. Like there were, and it was co-op too, so that was a lot of fun. And there were definitely parts where it's like, man, how do I get how do I beat this game? Zadek says, "Do you still work on Iquia?" I haven't worked on it in a while, but I still want to make it. I still want to finish it. I've just been kind of busy. J-Boy says, "I love arcade games." Thanks. I mean, yeah, I agree. I love arcade games too. They're the kind of games that basically indie developers can make. There's one that someone made really recently that kind of got a little popular. It's Burning Rangers, I believe. I believe that's the name of it. Burning Rangers. No, not Burning Rangers. What's it called? What's it called? I'm looking for it right now. I saw it on itch. I tried it out. It was good. It was a nice game. But for some reason I can't find it now. Dang it. This is unacceptable, dude. I wanna name drop that game because it was pretty good. It was like it was an actual NES ROM made in like this year, like either late last year, or this year. Okay, I can't find it, so I will find it off screen in a couple seconds. It's called Blazing Rangers. Here we go. This is what I was referring to. Blazing Rangers. So basically the general idea is like you are this guy or girl and you're trying to basically rescue as many of the people as you can while also taking out like fire, and your hose is like linked to the beginning, and as you move it gets like tangled, and like you can't move indefinitely with the hose, but that like gives you more reach with your water. It's really good. I highly recommend it. Blazing Rangers. Can't wait for it to drop so I can buy it, because it's just a demo. Yeah, so it's just like it's cool. I think that arcade games would be like a good one. Oh yeah, there's another indie arcade game. I can't remember it. It was like start with a J, I think. I'm not sure if I'll be able to remember it, unfortunately, but it was a good one. Or I mean, it looked good rather. I'd like to play it. Arcade fighting games, yeah, that's also a lot of fun. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna make it so that it's possible to load a resource. So the core idea is that when we are done, we should be able to say the player sprite is an ebitin.image, and that's what we're going to be drawing to the screen. And so player dot sprite should just be like level.game.load resource assets gfx player.png. So this is what we should expect, basically, that when we call load resource, it loads the resource, and then we can say like dot as image, something like that. Okay. Game looks fun like the Dino Blaster games like Bomberman. Yeah, kind of similar. Let's see, new game, update, draw, layout, delta. Alright, so func game load resource. Return a resource. Resource is gonna be a map of string to resource files. We say if resource path is going to be a string. We say resource exists equals resource game.resources resource path. If not exists, game.resources resource path equals new resource. Just do like this. Okay, so this is the general kind of flow that we're working with. All right. All right, so that's the general like approach we're going with. So then we say res.data equals ebitin.image from image image.decode assets.open resource path. File data, okay, file data. Code, we don't care about the other two things. All right, so this is basically if it's an image. We'll kind of swap this out if it's not, but this is fine for now. We actually could put this. This is something I like about Go, that you can just like really spread stuff around like that. That's cool. Zadek says, have you seen the Blockhead DAW by Kolugo? It's a DAW made entirely in Godot. It's the most interesting projects made in Godot are not even games, which is strange for a game engine. Yes, I have seen, and I wasn't aware it was made in Godot, but I have seen the DAW and it does look sick. For those who aren't aware, the DAW that Zadek is referring to is basically, it's like you can freely like stretch and shrink waveforms, you can freely like control their volume, and you can freely cut them. So you can take like a clip of someone talking and just like go to town on it, and so you can stretch it, and it's like super intuitive. It looks really sick. I would love to see more, to be honest. So this isn't working because we haven't actually done this. Let's go ahead and wait. Also, idle isn't found in a sprite. We misspelled it, or not misspelled it, but we capitalized it. We don't want to have to do that. Also, in the level, no, in the game, the map doesn't exist. Resources, yeah, we haven't actually defined this. The resources has to be a map from a string to a set of resource, or a resource rather. That should give us what we're looking for. All right, 0, 0. We're still looking good. So now, yeah, so this should basically be correct. Yeah, 144.24. Yeah, that's correct. So we have the sprite. All right, so now we'll just actually draw it. So we say image.draw image. We're gonna draw the player's sprite, and we're gonna just draw it on screen for now. There's our sprite. Cool. Now what we're gonna do is we just want to draw a single section of it. So we're going to do that. We're going to... Oh, actually, we need to do this. We're gonna cut out just a portion of the sprite. We're going to go from the X and Y to the X plus the frame width, and then the Y plus the frame height. This doesn't work because it's expecting ints, not int32s. Okay. All right, now we're going to draw the sub rather than the sprite itself. And we want to transform this to an everything.image. Or I guess you can say cast it. All right, now we're just drawing one frame. Let's go ahead and animate this so we can see if it's working correctly. All right, update, playing idle, okay. Cool. Yeah, that's right. So now we can like maybe hold on to this for 500 milliseconds, hold on to this maybe like 25. Let's make this actually like 1,000. There we go. Cool. Zadek, TJK says it's a Solar Loon stream. That's right. Zadek says you seem to really like Go. Are there any particular reasons? It's relatively simple. It's a little wordy sometimes. Well, it's not actually wordy. It's not actually that wordy, but it's a little like this kind of stuff is, you know, a little annoying. Like, you know, casting int32s to ints or float 64s to float 32s. Like that's a little annoying, but for the most part, I like it because it's simple and it is light. It's relatively lightweight, and it seems like the hardest things to do it seems like the hardest things to do are done for you, and then the other things are not. So it's like, you know, it's a little like you know, it would be nice to have a little bit more to it, like the ability to delete things from arrays, from slices easily. That would be nice. You know, it'd be nice to have some like additional stuff, but for the most part, I like it because it's a simple language. There's just not that much to it. So yeah, we got our character blinking, so that's good. So that means animation's working. That means that you know, we're making some headway here. Next thing we want to do is be able to move the character around. The way that I'm going to do that is to use my Resolve framework. Now, Resolve, the current version that's on GitHub is relatively, what's the word? It works a certain way, and I kind of did some stuff to basically change how Resolve works on kind of a fundamental level, and so it works different. So I'm gonna use basically my current, like my local copy of Resolve while I work on this, because the advantages are basically just a more optimized version of Resolve. The disadvantages is that you can't use Resolve to check like circle versus circle or circle versus square. There's no shapes. There's a lack of shape support. But the fundamentals of being able to quickly check if you're colliding with an area is better with my local copy of Resolve. So anyway, I'm working on it. But this is what I'll be using. I just have to push it to GitHub once it's ready. So what we're gonna do here, this is fine actually. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call. All right. There we go. Sorry about that. Yeah. Oh, Music Boy says he loves our music. Thank you. This is like not even the correct version of the song. Like this is a little bit older. It's doesn't sound as it should, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Forgive me, I'm trying to find what's a good song. Let's go with this again. Yeah, Dave Akers is correct. I do use my own music for the BGM, and thank you very much, Dave, for being happy to see a game dev stream. It's been a while indeed, and I'm happy to be back streaming. Glad to hear Boondy's doing well too. Yeah, so this is going well. I actually am going to have to leave in like an hour, so ideally I want to kind of boost up, you know, get something up and running here. So next things first, or first things next, whatever. We want to tie a resolve in so that we can do some basic collision checking and stuff like that. So we're going to do a couple things here. We're going to go to LDTK. I will make a layer. This will be an int grid that basically allows us to tell nothing. Oh, whoops. There we go. That'll basically allow us to tell where something is. Something like this. Oh, Bundy says you haven't heard this one before? Yeah, I haven't played it very often. What? Alright, well, I'll have to deal with that in a little bit. Okay, so resolve. So we're going to have an object. That's the resolve object. You want to like, okay, well, apparently not. Oh my gosh. Let's see. Don't like the garbage collection. Oh, Don Duvall was saying, don't like the garbage collection or how void pointers don't really exist. And I'm getting another call. I'll be right back. Sorry. Alright, so, what we're gonna do here, calling about my car's extended warranty, no, fortunately not. We're gonna replace resolve with our local directory, because, you know, I'm using my local, like, changes and stuff, so ideally I would like everyone to be able to follow along, but I'm not there yet, unfortunately. In terms of my there we go. Builds. Okay, excellent. So now we'll go over here. Yeah, I'm just not there yet, but I appreciate everyone watching. I would love to, yeah, have you all able to like follow along and make games and stuff using the tools I use. So I'll try to get things up and running to a comfortable degree. Alright, so we want to make a new object. It's gonna be 16 by 16. Right, okay. So we're gonna need a space for the level. That basically is like where all the objects live. And then here's where we kind of get into the nitty gritty a little bit, where we're like, okay, well, how big of the space? Pardon me. How big is the space? Excuse me. So we're going to define the LDTK level that we're dealing with here. Like that. And then we will be able to kind of use it. Oh, whoops. Let's do that again. This is going to be width. Is this width in pixels? Okay. New space, space width. Width and height of the level, okay. And then the cell width and height is gonna be 16 by 16. All right, still builds just fine. Excellent. Now the player is gonna be here. Player.level.space.add player.object. Okay. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is basically say player.object.y plus equal 4. And we'll just do something really simple like that. And we want to actually change where the object draws, like so. X, Y. And there we go. And yeah, the level restarting is working as well. Marcelo Zhao says, say hello to Brazil, big fan. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Hello. Thank you very much for stopping by the stream. So we got our player, they're moving. That's good. What we want to do now, we're going to do a quick debug function where basically we draw the objects in our resolve space. So basically the physical objects, we want to draw them so we can kind of see, is everything working as it should? So we'll have a debug switch that will actually reside on the game. And just make it so that basically actually it's input util. I think there's something's going on with my Golang like code complete, I think. Let me try restarting. Because it feels like it's just like straight up not importing things. V2. There we go. Input util dot. It's just not gonna. All right. All right. Does not contain package. Is it v2 / input util? Yeah, okay. So input util dot is key just pressed. Everything that key F1. Then game.debug was not game.debug. Okay. Now we go to level and then we say draw. We say for object in range level dot space dot objects. Everything util dot draw rect. We want to draw onto the image. Obj.x, obj.y, obj.width, obj.height. Go with white. Actually, C this C dot. Okay, I guess we'll do it like this. RGBA. There we go. But this is only if level.game.debug. Alright, so this should help us out. Let's see if we, yo, there it is. Check it out. That's the square. That's me. Okay. Now we're gonna go ahead and loop through. We're gonna make a function to load the level, load the LDTK level. Oh, like that. Because basically we want to be able to do this kind of easily and in a nice chunky way. So the space gets loaded down here. The level gets added here. We add the renderer. This level we chose. Okay, so we're gonna say level.load game.ldtk project.levels 0 level.space equals this. Resolve new space. We don't need that. Malik Marden says, you've gotten me interested in learning Go. I learned the basics last week. Don't know what to do now. LOL. Oh, yeah, great. I'm glad to hear that. It's a lot of fun. I like Go. Duval mentioned he doesn't like garbage collection or how void pointers don't really work. I got interrupted, I think, with the phone call. But it's nice syntax. I do like this. The syntax is nice. I don't mind the garbage collection because even for games, I've never had a situation where it like stuttered. Maybe I would if it was a big 3D game, but for a 2D game, it's fine. Void pointers don't really exist. I never really ran into any problems with that. Interface, just blank interface being a sub, being able to fill in for anything, that's fine. I mean, it's no real difference from like object in Python, I guess, or like, you know, basically extending from just a base class in a lot of languages. It's fine. I think that's it's all right. It's a little ugly, you know, to say like interface. Like that is basically, you know, the base class, or, you know, any, but that's fine. But yeah, I like it. Dave says Go's GC is super fast. I think it's the fastest out there. Very well could be. I don't know. I've never ran into like stops when I know the garbage collection is running. So that's good. We'll just go load. All right, so we're loading the level. We create the space, we add the player in there, and then we render. New player is actually adding the object to the space. It would be nice if it didn't do that, but there's not much. The alternative would be to make it so that game object, where's types? The alternative would be to make game object have like an on add and an on remove function that gets called when the object is added or removed, but I feel like that's a little bit overkill for now. I think this is fine, and if we need to, we can change it. Marcelo Zhao says, in your last game, which was being developed in Godot, what happened? Just got busy working on master plan. I have to go back to it and work on it some more. All right, so this is good. We're loading. That's what I was going to do. So what we want to do now is loop through every int grid spot and basically make an object for it. All of these locations. So to do that, we just go and say layers by identifier. We'll go with int grid, and then we just want basically we don't actually have to. We just say for int grid value in range this, and there's a position and a value. So we just want to basically say level.space.add new object. This is going to be int grid value dot position. Let's put it here. 0, and this is going to be a float 64. And then 16 and 16. Okay. There we go. Now all of these squares are indeed filled. So this should allow us to basically say like the player can, for example, drop until he comes into contact. So all we gotta do is just basically say dy is 1. Float actually 1. I guess I gotta just say 1 for now. And then we just basically check to see if we can actually move in that direction. This resolve as a core concept is available and it works well on GitHub. And even though my local resolve is different in how it works, that core concept of basically checking for a collision is still in the original resolve. So we just do basically player.object check space. It's a little bit different, but yeah, dy, and then we are looking for solid. So if check dot valid, then that means we touched something. So we'll go back to level. We just want to actually do this, but we want to add a tag of solidity, so that basically all of the blocks we're adding are solid. Then we go back over here, we're checking for solid, and we say, okay, so if we check and it's solid, then we can just say, what? Oh, it's empty branch, okay. We can then say dy equals check dot contact y. How much to move? that doc that doc string, how much to move. All right, and that's it. So this should allow us to basically just like, yeah, fall smack dab onto it. It's that simple. Now it's offset, so we have to just like offset the player sprite, but this is correct. Donk. So let's fix that. To offset the player sprite, there's a couple ways we could do this. One way would be to define a slice. Where is it? Where is the slice tool? Is it under? It's here. We could define a slice that's 16 by 16, like so. And then move that to be where the player should be. And then basically, when we export it, it's available in the JSON file here. And then we can just use this to basically determine how far off it should be, as well as the width and height of the collision area. That way we can kind of move it around, or maybe resize it if we think that she shouldn't be 16 by 16. Lucretia says, hey, or rather, the Cool says, hey, hi. Lucretia says, is that if check stuff, meaning that you're making a variable called check scope to that if statement? That is correct. Basically, check is only available within here. It's just a shorthand for basically putting check here and then saying if check.valid, but check is only available also in this if branch. All right, so now what we're gonna do, I'm running low on time. Now what we're gonna do is we have to do that offset. That's right. So we just want to define an offset. So we're just say sprite offset x is gonna be float 64. And then we just basically grab the slice. Okay, so we have x and y, which is in 32. So, okay. Lucretia says that's my useless and nice. It's just a shorter form. I mean, it's just like it's a little more compact. But I mean, it's not necessary. It's just like a little bit of a shorter form. So X and Y is, well, we'll just do it like this. Yes, key. It's nice that key 0 dot. Let's do it like this. X player dot sprite offset X is negative this. Oh, there we go. It's got to be a float 64 because that's what we're drawing with. I prefer it this way actually. Y. All right, and then for translate, we want to do this. Plus player dot sprite offset Y plus player dot sprite offset X. There we go. Now it's properly placed. I think it's fine. Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Now let's make it so that you can walk around. Luigi says I literally typed the opposite of what I mean. GG. I mistyped useful. Okay, no problem. I thought maybe, but I was like, maybe not. I mean, like it's not really necessary. It doesn't really do anything. It's just a nice little addition. All right, so arcade games didn't usually have like a lot of speed, like gradual speed. They used to be like you press right, the dude's just like booking it to the right or not. There's not really a lot of like smoothness. The rigidity of the movement, like you don't play Load Runner to like feel like you're really in control of your character. Well, no, you play Load Runner because like movement was really tactile. Well, like you played Load Runner because it was a fun puzzle game, a puzzle action game. But like movement was really tactile, like pressing the key or pressing the analog stick or pressing the arcade stick was really like, you know, solid. Like you press right and they immediately start moving right. There's no acceleration. So we're not gonna have acceleration. It's just gonna be like you press right, you move right. Let's also make a key binding system. Yeah. Type key binding system. Actually, I think I'm just gonna copy something else. I think I did this before, so I'm just gonna copy that from that folder. Give me a second to find it. I did this before. 7DRL. Yeah, so the way that the key binding system I made previously works is you have like gamepad axes or gamepad inputs or keyboard inputs, and the way that it works is basically it just calls pull on an input, which is a interface. So the input just calls pull and returns whether it's working or it's, you know, activating or not. And so axes have dead zones that basically once you push it past that dead zone, then pull returns true. Buttons return true if the button is pressed. Keyboard keys the same. Chris Gonzalez says, what theme for VS Code are you currently using? This is the bearded theme, Black and Ruby. Yeah, Black and Ruby. That's not Dracula? No, it's bearded theme, Black and Ruby. So it's a nice dark colored theme, also pretty easy on the eyes, but also kind of colorful a little bit. All right, so the key binding system, we're just gonna crib that from 7DRL. There's no reason to not do that. We just have to basically call update on it. We have to make it and then call update on it, like create it and then call update on it every frame. So we're gonna do that in main. Why does this not return? That's strange. Why did I not make it return a pointer? Okay. Okay. There's a problem in here? Where? Where do I use input util? Oh, I see. Okay. I do use it. That's right. Alright, well that's fine. If it builds, I'm not worried about it. Embed is being imported more than once. Oh, okay. Alright, so now what we're going to do next is... Okay, I thought I was looking at my preview. I thought I froze. Okay, next. We will allow you to move around. Keyboard keys. So we have to define in here right, and we will say new keyboard input everything.key right, and then also new gamepad axis input 0 0 1. Left is going to be key left. It's going to be -1. And then what else? Create door. EX. New gamepad button input. It's going to be 0 0. Then like destroy door. It's going to be C. Okay. That should be a good start. That should be a good start. Now we go to player, and then we just check to see if player.level.game.key bindings. Okay, so this is KB. KB.action down right. Then X 0 0. EX to move speed. Else if it's left, negative move speed. I guess that's fine. We can just do it like that. All right. All right. I like that up there actually. I'm making so many mistakes. Lucretia says, I like the light little melody of the song in the background. What is that, a xylophone? I think it's a marimba. But yeah, like a xylophone, a marimba, any kind of a, like a striking instrument would be kind of a similar sound. Once we get to the stage of like making the music, maybe I'll do that. Like, I think I'm gonna stream this twice a week. So today on Monday, and then maybe on Thursday. On Thursday, I might do master plan streaming, but on maybe Saturday or Sunday, I'll try to do this again. And once we get to the stage of making the music, it's gonna be hype. It's gonna be so hype. Do I listen to my own songs unironically? Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know about unironically. Unironically would kind of like, I mean, I don't listen to it ironically. I don't know. I do like to listen to my own songs, but usually like the ones like it depends. The ones that sound better, I like to listen to. All right. So this is yes. Okay. So this is declared but not used. I'm using it right here. All right. Whatever. And it's supposed to go DX. and then we'll just do a check here. We'll do Y first, and then we're just gonna copy this actually. Sorry, what I mean is for fun, like in the shower or something. Do you jam out in the shower to your songs? I don't listen to anything in the shower. But I do like to listen to my songs, but not usually like if I want to maybe work on it or if I'm returning to it. I don't listen to it like if I put my songs on SoundCloud, I would not listen to them. I don't listen to my own songs on SoundCloud, or at least I do very rarely. Like I listen to other people's stuff usually. Oh, we're not updating. That's why. All right, so this should give us pretty good. Okay, I can run. Oh, so it's working, but not really. Let's see. I think it might be yeah. Okay. There we go. So we're checking on the vertical axis and then the horizontal axis, and then we add and there you go. Yeah. Okay. He's moving a little fast. Let's try movement speed of maybe 2. And then let me see. Are we coming into contact? Is that what's going on here? No, okay. I was thinking like maybe something was happening. All right. So it wouldn't be much of an arcade game if you had the ability to move in the air. Also, you fall probably too fast. So I'm gonna make it so that basically only if you're on the ground will you be able to move. Alright, so that should give us a general, like, arcade game kind of feel. It's not working. Let's see, if di, is greater than or equal to 0. dy, that's why I need to do. Alright. Still not working. Why can't I move right? If checks, check y, if di, y is... Oh, what am I thinking? This is running and then it's immediately being set to false here. Don Duval says, yo, I'm back. I had to hurry the meeting up so I didn't miss the rest of the stream. Don't even worry about it. If you have something to do, please feel free to take your time. Alright, so we want it to be where it's like, yeah, you're not on the ground unless you're checking and you are on the ground. So maybe we'll just do this. We'll move this over here. There we go. That's better. Bonk. It's a little stuttery. Forgive me. It's just having a lot of stuff open right now. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Now we just need to make it so that you can actually we'll say delta x here. Now we just gotta make it so that you can actually like animate movement and stuff, which is pretty simple. We'll say player.delta x is this. We'll replace this with this is important because we want to be able to tell if you're running or not. So here we'll say if player.delta x is not equal to 0, player.asprite.play walk, else player.asprite.play idle. I guess another way to do it would be something like this. A little simpler. Cool. Let's add a sprite where she's falling. I'm trying to think of how I want to do this. That's so annoying. Let's see. I feel like something's missing. I think it's... I think it's a little bad. I think it's a little bad, but that's fine. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. It's not gonna be perfect. I feel like that's, yeah, her height more so. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. All right, now we can just go over here and we say if player.onGround, then Adam is equal to fall, else, well, I guess it's just else if, yeah. All right, not bad, not bad. It's actually really bad, but yeah, the feet are just absolutely horrible. I think I need more of a, I need a better, yeah, like a better silhouette. I think that's what I was missing. Like this. maybe, I'm not sure what I'm missing, but I'm definitely missing something, and I'm not sure what. Lucretia says, do I watch anime? If so, Attack on Titan? No, I don't. Yes, I watch anime, but I don't watch Attack on Titan. I haven't kept up with it. I'm more of a Made in Abyss. I'm more of a Made in Abyss kind of person. I'm more of a, yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Let's see here. Don Duval says, do I use a drawing tablet or just a mouse? Just a mouse. I have a tablet, but it's like a cheapo tablet, like it's like a $50 tablet that I got a few years ago. I never really used it very much. Yeah, so I'm yeah, it's, there we go. Yeah, I've never been a alright, I'm gonna silence this. I've never been a huge I've never been a huge Attack on Titan person, but I know it's got, you know, gotten really popular. And yeah, Made in Abyss is very me. That's, yeah, a friend of mine turned me on to it. He was like, dude, it's so good. It's, you know, you gotta watch it. I was like, all right. And so I watched it, and I was watching it. I was like, okay, this is pretty good. And then I got to like the last like 3 episodes. I was like, oh, it was like, I was like, oh my god, wait, what? Wait, what? It was so good, dude. I love it. I kind of don't want them to make another season. It feels like season 1 should be the only season. It was so like, it encapsulated so well what they would have to go through. I thought it was a good anime. I liked it a lot. I mean, if they make another season, I think they're working on it. I'm of course gonna watch it, but like, I thought the first one was just like, all right, fair enough. Just fair enough. This is how we doing it. All right. So we got some good stuff going. I have to leave in like 10 minutes. But let's see if we can do. We have to turn her around. We have to be able to turn her around. We will use a flipped variable, Boolean variable, also known as burial. If player delta x is less than 0, then player flipped to true. Else if player. Wait, what? They already released season 2 and 3 and half the final season. Hold up. I thought. Oh, do you mean in Japanese? Because I only saw the first season. Is there another season? I know that there was a movie. Also, Lottie, yes, hello. Long time no see, indeed. Subbed? All right, I gotta look it up. I gotta look and see. So if the players flip, then we want to just flip it around, which we can do by changing the geometry. So options.geometry.scale -1 1. Okay. We also want to translate it by basically negative sub width divided by 2 okay. Alright, so this is basically just centering it so that we can flip it and then we go back. Alright, well that's basically a good start. Next, also can I just say I am impressed that they were just like, yeah, a gray background. Like there was like they had so much like they were so sure to just be like, yo, gray background. Like, come at me. You want a color? You want some clouds? No. Like, it's gray. Like, you get gray. Have fun. And people were like, okay, we'll have fun. I don't know if I have the necessary if I am energetic enough to just be like, yeah, gray background's fine. But yeah, this is good. Okay, now let's see if we can at least get a door. Oh yeah, we don't actually want it to be, yeah. It's a little tough if there's no outlines. So I guess we'll just do it like this. We'll use color to control what part of what we're looking at, right? So like, okay. Let me just do this. What am I? No, like... Oh, I see. That's why it's happening. Alright, this is fine for a start. Alright, this is fine for a start. We'll call this the door. I have so little time. Oh, Attack on Titan. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was talking about Made in Abyss. Okay, I was like, Attack on Titan. I was like, Made in Abyss has season 2, 3, and this is the final? Like, I'm like, what? Yeah, Made in Abyss, nah, I haven't really, or Attack on Titan, I haven't really seen it. Okay, so this is working. I don't think I'll have time to put the door in, unfortunately. If I had like another hour, I could probably get the door and an enemy, but alas, I simply do not have the time. Let me see if I can at least get... at least start on this. New tag. No sprites, no slice. This is between 424. All right. So what we're gonna do this, I guess this actually is all we need to do is this. Close. Draw sub options. We don't want to flip it. No offset. Okay, that's pretty simple. We will go back to LDTK. We will define a door entity. Let's define a door, little door image over here. Now, how I'm going to do this, let's say. How I'm going to do this, I'm not really sure. Entities. Yeah, because the door is bigger. How do we make it? Oh, I guess we could do it like... this. Okay. Okay. So we just have to go to level, or we load the level. We just have to say for blank entity in the range of the level dot entity or layer by identifier entities dot identifier. Door level. Okay, so this is working. It's just putting the corner here because of the pivot point. I'm unsure if... Yeah, it does not have a pivot point. I'm not sure if the JSON file has pivot point information. Let's see. Okay, it does. This is a door? Yeah, it does. Okay. So this is important information now that I never exposed to LDTK. Go. So I will add that. That way we can basically tell like, oh yeah, we're pivoting off of this point, and it really should be not down here, but rather up. So to do this, we're going to go to LTTKO. We're going to go to entities right here, and the pivot point is defined. Here we go. Entities pivot X, pivot Y. Okay. All right. Cool. Now we go back over to here. Okay. Now we want to go to here. Let's see, does it not? Oh, I'm using master. Okay. That's right, that's right. Let's just do this. Okay. Pivot X and Y are both 0, 0. That is incorrect. Because the pivot should be 0.5 and 1. Unless, did I mistype this? Let's see. Entity dot pivot X, pivot Y. Is this the definition, or is this the actual? This is not the definition. Okay, let's see. Okay, so pivot is underscore. Underscored, okay. Something like that. Pivot, underscore, underscore, pivot. Okay. There we go, 0.5 and 1. Alright. So, now we can just say door.object.x minus equal entity pivot 0. Oh, getting another phone call. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Well, this is gonna have to be the end. Load 32, load 64. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna have to be the end, unfortunately. Hey, there we go. The door should be behind her, but that's fine. We'll have to implement a depth system later. The depth system would look something like this. Types, and we just say like depth, right? And then we just make it return like a int, and then we make it so that like the player returns a value of 0, whereas the doors return a value of, let's fix it, let's do it. Front door, depth, int, return 100. And then just player depth returns 0, and then we go to level and we say draw. We sort. Sorted is a list of game objects, and we say for sort dot slice. Or does it sort it? It sorts the slice. Okay, it doesn't return a sorted slice. All right, so then we probably want to, yeah, say for game objects sorted p. I guess we just do like this. We do it like this. All right, then we sort dot slice sorted function I j int bool return sorted I dot depth is greater than sorted j dot depth, and then we just loop through sorted and draw. Done. Let's go. Let's go. Okay. All right, so that's it. We managed to get like 70% of the things I wanted to get done today done, which is pretty good. We managed to get key bindings, movement, player, level loading, drawing the pretty much almost all of the sprites. We were missing maybe 2 or 3, possibly. Assuming that we stick with this design. But that's a lot. We've gotten a lot done. And thank you very much for watching. I've been Solar Luna. It's been a lot of fun. It's been real. And I'll have to catch you guys on the flip side next time. Probably Thursday? Not tomorrow. Tomorrow's kind of busy. So maybe like, yeah, Thursday or Friday. We'll see. I'll see. I'll have to stay flexible. I gotta stay flexible, and I'll see if I can see more regularly. But I really do appreciate everyone stopping through. It's been fun, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Thank you.